So a year ago I said we wouldn't be doing any more new sets. Not unless manufacturers send them in, like we've had with Thunderpole. They've actually sent them in gratis. We weren't buying any more. But in a weak moment I ordered a couple of new Midlands. Because on the face of it, this looks better than those, was it M20, M30? I don't know whether you remember, but the issue I had with the still current M20, M30 type of sets from Midland is that things like squelch were in a menu. And on one of those sets, you had to go into the menu to adjust the squelch, and then to hear that what the effect was, go back out of the menu. That is so bonkers. You know, imagine having a record player and you've got to go in a menu to turn up the volume, but you don't know what that change is going to be until you've come out of a menu. Who thinks of these things? So it may be a good radio, but it's not good to use. So this 18, I've ordered a 28, which we'll do in a couple of sets' time. It just looks like we've got a squelch control, which is a knob. So it looks like a simple arrangement. These aren't cheap. I mean, it was best part of £100 trade. So we're going to see. Have my wholesalers included instruction book? Wow. Yes. What's the chances of being a circuit diagram? So I've actually done this because one of our viewers lives relatively local to me, 10 miles away, and he's a big Midland fan, and I thought we'd cheer him up. Oh, good grief, what rubbish is this? It's where you can use it, is it? Oh, here's the instruction leaflet. Oh, that's all you get. Well, that was disappointing, wasn't it, folks? Yes, Mr. Tango. Right, we get a new logo, do we, in a plastics box. I hate cigarette lighter plugs forced upon you. Bracket, plastic mic clip, an up, down and lock mic, mounting bracket, the side bobbles and a couple of fixing screws. So this is serial number 11. Made in China, surprise, surprise. Right, well, what I haven't done is remember to print off a service tick-off sheet. There's an 8-pin under there. I think it's a weighted microphone, and it looks like we have a little aperture for a electret in there. The usual thing, we're going to have to connect it with crocodile clips. We don't do cigarette lighter plugs on here. I'm not going to start. It's 13.8 volts. Comes on EC, and that's exactly what we'd expect. So first thing we're going to have to do, I definitely pressed camera 1 button, you know, but like everything, nothing seems to work first time. That's the fixing kit going for a walk. We're going to have to find out how to change the band. English isn't first language, Italian is. Right. Switch off the radio, it's off. Press the Vox emergency and channel menu AMF at the same time and turn the radio on. So that's both those buttons, and turn the radio on. Oops, that's on. No, that's on. And then what do? Turn that until we get UK, and then I think you press the PTT itself, which it did. And then I heard a relay go click. So brand new radio, and it's got a relay in it. I didn't like relays in sets right back in 1981. And what's this? I didn't notice this. We've got this black leaflet. It says, thank you. Register your product and get a 15% coupon on your online purchase. That'll be so they've got your name and address. Right, I'll print off a sheet and we'll start ticking things off. Right, so I've got a sheet, we've got it switched on. We're going to select, I'm only going to be looking at UK as far as the performance. I will cover CPT, and if it does AM, you know, every time I put the clipboard down, it knocks the cigarette lighter connectors off. Half of me would just chop the plug off, but then I expect we'll have to sell it one day, and no, it's not complete. Right. So I won't tilt it upwards. You'll have to rely on the fact that it is on channel 20. It's on digital squelch. We'll take it off digital squelch, if it really is digital squelch, and not just preset squelch. Switch picture in picture on. And we'll key it up on the 3 watt scale, and lo and behold, it does 2.9 watts. So that's about usual, isn't it? At least it's got a rotary channel selector, even though it's not a real rotary channel selector. It's a rotary encoder, 2.9 watts on 40, 2.9 watts on 1. So that's and if it goes on to CPT, looks like it does, but it doesn't tell you it has. No. No, it always stays on that. Okay. No doubt we've got to set that up separately. Right, I've no doubt it's going to be pretty well on frequency. Hopefully it's just slightly high. Oh, it's decided, because I changed bands, which doesn't do anything except put it to channel 1. Yeah, 27791116. not going to have low power. 27,79116. Current consumption is a whacking 1.26 amps. That is massive for the power output. Older sets of the 80s, for this power output, you're looking at 750 to 850 milliamps. It has some kind of RF meter, which is probably fake, but we'll see, and that's showing full-scale deflection. So now we'll put the signal generator on, and we'll just tune it into channel 20, 2779125. We're last on CPT. I'll leave it at that, it's about where it is. SINAD meter on, plug in the test equipment to the speaker socket, and knock the power off as usual. Over to the SINAD meter. And turn the squelch down. Well, that's very good. 0.28. And 10, 0.24. 20, 0.8, so certainly receives well. Squelch, put the squelch to full, just see when it opens. I like it to be 100 microvolts, so equivalent to S9, but there's no hard and fast rule on that. It is 2.5, 2.8 millivolts. And let's look at the threshold. So we'll park the signal generator at 0.3. Turn the squelch down. Turn the signal generator to standby. Switch back on. 0.58, that's fine. I'll put ASQ, whatever it is, see when that comes in. 2.4. Probably should be nearer 1.7 for that, but that is, again, no hard and fast rule. Let's look what the S meter says for 100 microvolt input. So it should be S9, and it's S5. Let's put the signal up higher, S7, S9. It's a whacking great big 3 millivolts, and it never reads any further than that. Right, I better open it up. I expect we take these bottom lid screws off. absolutely no. Oh, it's got screws in the back. No wonder I can't get it off. Perhaps I didn't need to take the side screws out. And inside we've got a very good quality die-cast chassis, epoxy speaker, yeah, I mean, you've got the fact that the screen plate is screwed onto the die-cast chassis there. You know, it's not just kind of soldered on. So, I no doubt, just for giggles, we can open that up, not because we're going to adjust anything under there, but that's a quality thing. And if they just put a tin plate thing on that and quickly solder it, it's a cheaper thing than having had to go to all the trouble to make this and fit it. So that is impressive. You've got the filters under there. I'm looking for sharpness on the connector. There's a little bit of sharpness, but I mean, I'm used to UHF business radios. Yeah, you really can't complain at that. The filtering's going to be fantastic, I'm sure. And then the next thing is going to be, has it got any adjustments to bring it anywhere near 4 watts? Or is it find the hidden menu? Or is it manufactured with no adjustments? Put the other glasses on, I might be able to see something. We'll just unplug the speaker. I would do if I dare. Well, I'm afraid this surface mount connector is breaking away from the board before it's wanting to yield to being unplugged. So we'll fix the radio before we break it anymore. I suppose we can look underneath. There's not going to be anything underneath, but we can have a look underneath while we have it in bits. There we go, absolutely nothing. VCO test point is there, and again that's a screwed cover. So we can ascertain that there's no adjustments inside the radio. The crystal filter on the receiver. And I'll put one of the screws back. So I'm going to open the fuse holder, and we're going to power it up at the fuse holder. You get a spare fuse as well, which is stowed in the fuse holder. That's a reasonable touch. Might stay put easier. So we're going to have to find a way of making it go into some kind of service. It does have a menu. Let's see what the menu does. What's SN? Apart from signal to noise. And then they time out before you've had time to discover. Not that one. Turn that volume down for people who it annoys. It's in steps. Menu. Long press enter the menu. It doesn't tell you what that does. Right. Enter the menu. We've entered the menu. We've gone out of the menu. So whatever SN is, DL, BL, is that black light, backlight? RF. That sounds like power level, doesn't it? Is that squelch normal? Yeah, that's backlight. Are these Roger bleeps or something? No. Best not to fiddle. Right, let's see whether I can find a way of making it go into some service menu. Well folks, I'm disappointed to say I can't find any service menu, so whether or not it's preset, but I wish it was preset doing a bit more power on transmit. So you remember there is a preset radio that we've covered, which is the Thunderpole T800, and it comes out of the box. There are no adjustments. The manufacturer says that there are no adjustments, and it comes out of the box working properly. So what I have found on the web, whilst my pages stuck together, is an alternative instruction book, and it goes into the functions of that menu. It's not being scanned in the way I'd scan it, but there we go. So squelch level, obviously digital squelch level adjustment. So we go into menu and we have to find DS, and I wanted to drop it a little bit. So menu, DS, and I want it to drop, so let's try that. And I expect we've got to go out of the menu, just like I was moaning about. How do we go out of the menu? Anyone any idea? No. It eventually unlocks. Right, so we're on channel 20. I'm probably on CPT because of doing a reset. Reset is actually I'll go through that. Reset is one of the things in this instruction book, but not shown in my instruction books that came with the set. No, we're on 2781. Right. So, see where the squelch is now for auto. I need to put the attenuator on the inset picture so you can see where I am. So the way it was was 2.4 microvolts. It's now 2.2, so I still want it to be more sensitive. So let's go back into the menu, DS, A2, let's go for A1, and then I presume we have to wait for it to time out, or do we press transmit for it to go out and lock in? So we'll try it again, open it up, and there we are. Coming in at 1.7 microvolts, which is where I want it. So that's an improvement. So let's wade through what they've got here, which you can adjust. So that's the digital squelch, how to do that, which I've just shown you. And it does say press PTT to confirm your selection. Voice activation, not interested in that. So not interested in that. Not interested in delay, but it says it's the SN. And then it's the DL for delay. It does tell you in here how to go into, when you're in the UK set of channels, how to go into CPT without a reprogramming. It's also got a built-in RF gain, and I'll show you this, but it's of no interest to me. So we go into the menu and it'll be RF. So here we go. So RF is there, so we can activate that. Let's just put some volume on, and then you'll see that this is, if we just drop that, and so on, so we can attenuate it. I've lost the sensitivity. It's now 30 microvolts on the signal generator. Might help if I turn the squelch down, and you can hear it going, attenuating, can't we? And back to the off position. I'll press the PTT to get out of that. Just turn the volume down again. I think that is it. We've got backlight, and we've got different colours, haven't we? So menu was the backlight intensity with the BL. So BL, let's go around for backlight intensity, and I showed you that before. Let's go into that, then we can adjust it off 1, 2, 3. I think for the demonstration we'll have it at 3, so I'll lock that in with the PTT switch. And the other thing is the colours. I would prefer it not to be blue. And what do we want? We want LD. LD. Lock that. Select that. We've got green. I think the 3's the best for me. Lock that in. So there we go. A few more things. Now, we can do a factory reset. So if we switch it off, and do you remember we switched the radio on to set the country code by pressing Vox and menu at the same time as switching it on? Well, this time we press the PTT with the radio off and holding the menu button, switch it on. Let go, and it does a reset, and now it's on the European set of channels. Well, of course that's no good to me, so what we're going to do is we'll go back into UK. So switch it on with both the buttons pressed, select UK, press the PTT to lock it in, and there we are. Now, to go to the UK set of channels, this is absolutely bizarre. But what you do, you press the PTT button and menu at the same time. And it's now gone into I for Italy mode. And we're in FM. So now, if I put the frequency counter up and we transmit, it'll be 27205. 27205 it is. And if I press the AM FM switch, hey presto, we go into AM. So I'll just look at where the modulation is on AM. I can do that pretty quickly on the test set. Let's go to the meter. Oh, here we're going to have to unplug the extension speaker. AM causes interference to the test set. Let's tune that in. Wallow. It's about 96%, which is, I like them a bit less than that, but that's what it is. Just see what this test set says on FM. So we'll just go back to FM by pressing the AM FM button. Just see what the deviation shows on here, and then we'll go to the other test set. Wow, it's about 1.5 showing on here, but that might be lies. Wow, it's 1.8. So without being able to adjust that, it's going to be as quiet as a mouse, isn't it? Oh, because we've reset the factory defaults, we've got the wrong colour, haven't we? Anyway, we're going to go back to UK. So presumably we do the same again. We just press PTT in menu. No, we're not there. And there we are on UK. And we need to go into the other menu because I've done a reset. And I want the colours back. It was LD. It was 3. There we go. So I am disappointed. I can't get into a menu. Perhaps it doesn't have a menu. Perhaps there's something else. So if you are an importer of these and you know more than me, email me and then we can get that info out because it makes the set more useful to people. So yes, I'm pleased I've been able to change the digital squelch from its preset position, which was a bit harsh. But on the other hand, I'd like to have brought the power up to more than the 3 watts the set's doing. So there you go. Let's have a plug on the aerial. The sensitivity is absolutely excellent. We'll do an on the air test. And Mr. Chippie will probably say, that set's a bit quiet. He isn't going to change the volume on the test radio in the car. So you may not be able to hear me. He always has the volume exactly the same point. It's part of the test. One niner Roger. I'll tell you what, at least it's quick changing channels. Let's see if we can change bands. Well, it sounds like we've got American interference on AM today.
I think we are 54, 55 degrees over anything plugging in.
So how am I supposed to be able to talk over them?
We ain't got no snow though, my friend. Oh, 66, but we got.
Let's go to FM. Back to UK. One niner Roger. So what you see is what you get. Can't even find my pen, it's there. So I've got 1.8 kilohertz. On CPT, it's 3.1 watt. Nothing else is adjustable. We were able to adjust auto squelch, which is allegedly digital squelch. This is superb. Just to transmit power and deviation. But that makes a huge difference, doesn't it? So thank you for watching the brand new Midland 18 with no adjustments from 2025.